some questions here. How do traffic lights intersections work when traffic lights are out? They don't. Each driver has to stop and take a turn looking and going through. The rules of the right of way come in, and occasionally traffic lights go out. There's a power failure. A car hits a telephone pole, a light pole. So it goes back to the old school. The first car there is the first car to leave. But a lot of adults and young people, young 18 to 36, just kind of say, hey, I have a big truck. I can blow through. I'm a big car. I can blow through. But those are the people that hit pedestrians, hit bicyclists. You always want to be careful. And as an instructor, I've taken students through the traffic lights that don't work, and it's always a very tense moment because people forget how to drive and they start being very aggressive. They kind of look and then they just roll through. So you got to take your time. It happens. What's the more common type of accident? It's a rear end collision. People are not paying attention. They're driving too fast for the conditions. They're on their phone. This is why I always try to tell all of you, keep space. You want to have good speed, good space, and a smile. This way you can see to the left, you can see to the middle, you can see to the right. It's extremely important that you see in Legoland. Hint, hint. Someone knows what I'm talking about. What should I do if I'm parallel parking and there's traffic? You got to be able to master parallel parking in 7 to 10 seconds. You're going to pull up next to a car. You're going to put on your right turn signal. You're going to reverse. You're going to turn that wheel all the way to the right. You're going to back in at a 45 angle. You have to be able to master this. Most downtown areas, they have designated areas on the street that are free. If you go to downtown New York, downtown Detroit, downtown LA, those spots, some of them are paid parking spots where you have to put in a quarter. If you don't put in a quarter, you're going to get a ticket. So the quarter, dime, or nickel is way easier than getting off work, telling mom or dad, I got a ticket. You got a what? You're going to go downtown and pay it. So pay that, but you have to learn how to parallel park. And then in downtown areas, the paid parking spots are $20, $30, $40. The NFL draft is coming up. It's going to be in Detroit. Their designated spots, $50, $100. It's going to bring a lot of economic stimulation to the Metro Detroit area. So, and people from around the world will be coming to see that. What if it rains? We're supposed to drive. Usually if the rain is really, really, really bad, we would cancel. I try to connect all of you to son or daughter. We want to drive at a speed that's safe and reasonable. You do need to learn how to drive in the rain. What better time than to drive with your instructor? But you will eventually drive in the rain, and it's going to be hard to see it. If you can't see, you pull over to the right. And you get off the road, you let it calm down, and then you're golden. You got to have good windshield wipers, you got to have your headlights on, and you just take your time. If you really can't see, then don't go. How long should you wait at stop signs? The minimum is 3 seconds. I did look that up. The max is about 5. Your car should remain motionless. The front of your car behind the stop bar or stop line. Those are some of the most common things that beginners don't stop, rolling stop. You're going to fail your driving test. It just takes a moment. I think a lot of drivers are in a hurry. They're very casual. They look left to right. They just blow through. When you are parallel parking, how do you know you're not going to hit the car in front of you? You want to leave room. You can actually look out your front windshield and see the hood of your car. And if you're too close to the car in front of you, you probably don't have enough room. So you don't want to squeeze your car into a small spot. You won't be able to get the car in, and you're going to sideswipe the car. So it does take practice. A lot of beginners haven't learned to judge space. And if you're too close, you're going to hit the car, and then the person's going to come out of the restaurant, and now you got a problem. Hey, you hit my car. And some people have cameras in their car, and if you bump the car, the camera will start recording. I already talked about the rain real hard. If you can't see in front of you, pull over to the right. How many days after finishing 71 does it take to get your permit? I like the question. It depends on your birth date. It depends on your parents when they take you to the Secretary of State. If your parents sit down, oh, honey, we'll take you next Wednesday. Oh, honey, we'll take you after Grandma has her heart transplant. Oh, honey, we'll take you after Fluffy has her back surgery. You need to stay on your parents. Mom, Dad, you know that I'm done. The digital certificate will be emailed. Can we make an appointment? You're up to your parents. Some of your parents are very prompt. Some of your parents are like, we'll get to it in 3 weeks. You made me wait. So as soon as you get done, paperwork is turned in. You're going to get a digital certificate. And then your parents have to make an appointment to Secretary of State. You can't go by yourself. You got to have a parent or guardian. And your birth certificate. So level 1 is 3 months. You have to get 30 hours in 3 months. It's an hour and a half per week. My students did the math. Hour and a half per week. If your parents are not going to let you drive, it's going to be 4 months. Hey, I'll see you next year. So that's where that respect for mom and dad come in. Guys who are watching, you have questions, put them in. Ask questions. When do you turn the wheel left while parallel parking? Halfway past the vehicle. Go ahead, change your name, please. Halfway past the vehicle. That seems to be the general area. Some people say the front door, some people say the front bumper. You have to know how to parallel park. Most places around the United States, you got to do a parallel park maneuver. Can we practice parking and turning more next drive? The answer is of course. We always practice parallel parking, backing in driveways, downtown areas, 3-point turnarounds. Once you feel comfortable, you're going to be mastering those maneuvers. How do you drive when you're tailgated? You want to maintain speed. If you speed up, they'll speed up. You want to maintain speed, and eventually they will pass you. If you pick up speed, you're going to lose your space cushion in front of you. The most important space is in front of you because you have to keep that space cushion. When should we be using cruise control? When you're on the highway. You don't want to use cruise control in stop and go traffic. Usually after about 20 miles an hour, you would activate cruise control. You will push a button on the steering wheel or a switch on the blinker. It depends on the layout of the car. Good questions. When is it okay not to go the speed in the school zone? When you're out of the school zone. All of you are school age. I deal with clients who are school age. You have those yellow signs with 2 pedestrians on there. That warns you this is a school zone for middle school, high school, or college. You need to drive 25, 15. Outside of the school zone, then it's your normal speed. How do you park when the parking lines are slanted? Good question, like the question. You go up half past both lines. There are 2 lines. Once you get halfway, you turn it and you split the lines and go in. If you turn too early, you're going to be to the right side. If you turn too late, you're going to be to the left side. So you got to split the line in half. Schools are really good, church parking lots, gas station parking lots, so you can really practice those low speed maneuvers. I like the questions. If the speed limit is 45, what is the slowest you can go? I would say about 40. Don't go any slower than 40 because people are at 40 or at 50 and they could literally run into you. And that's what beginning drivers do. They drive very slow under speed. A few drive over speed. Do school zone speed limits always apply if there's no sign saying otherwise? I would always be aware because what do kids do? I'm going to go up to the school and break in. No, I'm joking. I'm going to go up to the school and play. You should always assume when I'm in the school zone, there are kids here. Always assume. But on the weekend, right, you got to be aware, always assume because kids go and play. Do the speed limits change on loose gravel? No, they stay the same. Good question. You really should drive slower because gravel is like little ball bearings and then you're going to slide. And then there's a soft shoulder. So I would try to drive toward the middle. The gravel roads are kind of a crown shaped road. And if you're on one side, you're literally going to fall off. What drive do we, drive 4 or drive 5? It depends on the instructor. It depends on you. Usually, how fast do you go around roundabouts? About 15 to 10 miles an hour. If you're going too fast, a lot of beginners going too fast and they almost hit the left curb. Or they have to overturn, the car swerves to the left, drifts. That's the next lesson. No, it drifts. So go into the roundabout a little bit slower. Well, it's a knowledge test. They're going to test your knowledge. You're going to have an 80-question test. Some states have a 100-question test. Some countries have a 250-word test. Love you, UK. Love you, Germany. They have a 250-word test. It's taken over days. So every place is a little bit different. So we always prepare for the knowledge test. Can you switch lanes under an intersection? No, that's a bad habit I used to have. I'm human. So you don't want to switch lanes because cars, what if I'm in the right lane, you're in the left lane, you want to switch to the right, I want to switch to the left. We just hit each other. So don't switch lanes in the intersection. Wait till you get out. Yeah, go ahead and switch. So I thought the questions were solid. We got some good information.